Yo, what's good, everybody? I'm rhickey28. Welcome to the YouTube channel. Today, we wanted to talk about the Player of the Month program. The June monthly awards program just came out, and there's some really good cards in the mix. I wanted to go through each and every one of them to let you know if I think it's worth going through the program, and also to let you know if I think that any of these guys are going to make my rank squad or if they could possibly make yours. If you like this sort of content, please give a thumbs up to the video and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. Let's start with the 93s. Honestly, probably not a whole lot of these guys are going to be making your rank team, but let's review them anyway. We got BRYAN and DRURY as the first 93 overall. He's got third base primary, first base second, left and right field secondaries. He's got pretty solid defense. He's gonna be decent at any of those positions. His numbers versus righties, not great. Not terrible, but we don't really care about that at this point in the year. It's his power and contact versus lefties. That might go ahead and keep him as a bench bat versus righties for you. So BRYAN and DRURY actually does have some uses. If you're lacking on righty bench bats, DRURY could be a good choice. Next up is going to be Daniel Hudson. He does have 100 hits per 9, but honestly, that pitch mix is really not going to cut it. He's not really a guy that we're going to make too much use of. Fastball, slider, fastball, circle change. Between those terrible pitches and the lack of speed differentials, I would honestly not really use Daniel Hudson at all. Jon Berti does have positional versatility. He's got second, short, and all three outfield positions. He's a primary third baseman. He's got really high contact numbers, but that complete and utter lack of power is going to be kind of an issue. 56 power versus righties, especially at this point in the year, it's really not good. He does have a lot of defense. He does have 99 speed across the board. Jon Berti kind of looks like, to me, the poor man's Honus Wagner. And Wagner's gonna go down to almost quick sell value by the end of this program, so I'd much rather have him. Now, Jorge Lopez is a lot of fun. This is a very solid relief pitcher card. Sinker, curveball, slider, circle change, and fastball. He's got the speed differentials, he's got the really good pitch mix, and most importantly, he's got outlier on the sinker. He's kind of like this Player of the Month's version of the Clay Holmes card from last month. With 114 hits per 9, I am absolutely adding Lopez to my bullpen, and I would strongly suggest you do too. Outlier sinker mixed with the 88-mile-an-hour slider and then the 88-mile-an-hour circle change is kind of a nasty combination. The break on his curveball is 96. You might even be able to get away with deceiving batters with that as well. There is 86 break on the slider and 88 break on the change. 92 break on an outlier sinker is gonna be really nice. You should be able to tunnel pitches pretty well with Lopez, so I'm really liking the prospects of this card. Taijuan Walker has a sick pitch mix. He doesn't exactly have the best speed differentials on it. I do like a sinker, cutter, slider, splitter mix. I'm definitely going to try him out. I'm a little weary though, because I thought that Martin Perez was going to be pretty good. I thought Kyle Wright would be pretty good, and those guys ended up not being very good at all. I have a feeling the same thing's going to happen with Walker here. He's only got 95 hits per 9. That's really not great, but he's super tempting with that pitch mix. I'm really interested in trying him out and seeing exactly what happens with him. However, I'm not really holding my breath. Unfortunately, I feel like they kind of did my man Teoscar Hernandez a little dirty. If you guys have been playing the BR program, you already know about the silver Teoscar Hernandez. When they announced him as a diamond in this Player of the Month program, I was so excited to see this card. Unfortunately, his numbers versus righties pretty much can't play. He does have really good numbers versus lefties. He's got okay fielding, pretty good speed. Honestly, in my opinion, the only thing that Hernandez is really going to be great at is being a bench bat versus lefties. On to the 95s of the program. The first one we're going to talk about is Jon Gray. Honestly, not a whole lot to talk about here. I really wish that they would have given Taijuan Walker the 95 card. He has a better pitch mix. He has everything going for him. We could have gotten a nice little bump to his hits per 9, and Walker would have been a lot more useful. Jon Gray, as far as I'm concerned, totally useless card. I would not use this at all in ranked or events or anything. Slider, circle change, curveball, and fastball is his pitch mix. Like, that's just really not going to get the job done. He has 103 hits per 9, which is okay, I guess. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. There's very few redeeming qualities about Jon Gray. For me personally, I'm not taking him online. Next up is Bryan Reynolds. I was so excited when they announced the Bryan Reynolds card. If anybody knows, his swing is so juicy. He is so good. Switch hitter, center fielder. He's got really good fielding. He's got pretty good speed as well. The problem is he doesn't hit amazingly well against lefties. 90 contact versus lefties, 78 power versus lefties. A little disappointing. Those numbers against righties are pretty insane. 110 contact, 106 power versus right. You could probably get away with platooning Bryan Reynolds. We're going to be facing a lot more right-handed pitchers. The only issue is that the best starting pitchers right now are all lefties, so it makes it kind of hard to maneuver with Reynolds. Have him in there, and if you end up facing a lefty, bring in somebody else that you might really like instead. I'm slightly disappointed in the Bryan Reynolds card. Still though, I have a hard time not giving him a try in the outfield. I want to see how this Bryan Reynolds performs because I love his swing, and I usually think that Bryan Reynolds cards are absolutely cracked. Kyle Schwarber is another guy that's a little bit of a heartbreaker. When I saw that Schwarber was going to be a part of this program, I was so excited. Schwarber's best asset is usually that he has catcher secondary. Unfortunately, SDS didn't give him catcher this time. He's a left fielder. He can play first and right. He's got okay fielding, 75. It's not going to kill you out there. It's not going to really blow the doors off. But 52 speed is a serious issue. Usually, if a guy doesn't have the most amazing fielding, I want him to have speed out there in the outfield. It's going to be kind of hard to put Schwarber out there. He's still a really good card. Those hitting numbers are incredible. 103 contact versus right, 115 power versus right. At a minimum, Kyle Schwarber is going to be a good bench bat. I honestly still think you can get away with putting him in left field. If you don't have one of the top first basemen, Schwarber could be your guy. For me, Schwarber is either a bench bat versus lefties, or if you're willing to take a risk, you could throw him out there in left field. I'm definitely still excited to try out the Schwarber card. I'm just really upset that he doesn't have catcher secondary. On to the throwback, Chris Sale, June 2015 Player of the Month. Chris Sale is actually going to be a really good card, I believe. Unfortunately, he doesn't have outlier, but he does have sinker, circle change, slider, and fastball. The speed differentials are actually incredible. 95-mile-an-hour sinker, 79-mile-an-hour slider. If you tunnel those pitches correctly, people are going to lose their minds. He has 100 hits per 9. If you get him to P5, that'll be 105 hits per 9. Not terrible. It's not the greatest card in the game right now, but that does work out. Chris Sale's windup can give people issues. It can be really deceiving when you're throwing pitches like sinkers and sliders in the same spot. People are going to get confused. The circle change, you can tunnel well with it. This Chris Sale card, I am actually super excited to try out. The Lightning Player of the Month, Yordan Alvarez. He could play left field, he could play right field. Look at his hitting stats. They are absolutely incredible. 115 contact versus right, 101 contact versus left, 125 power versus right, and 92 power versus left. He's not really a great fielder, and he doesn't have the speed. That's my only issue with this card. This Yordan Alvarez is going to absolutely destroy the baseball. One of the best hitting cards in the game right now, especially versus righties. He's at minimum gonna be a bench bat. If you don't feel comfortable putting him in the outfield, it's completely understandable with that speed. Those hitting stats might just make up for the lack of fielding and the lack of speed. Similar to what we said about SCHWARBER, you might get away with throwing Yordan in left field. Yordan has some insane quirks. He performs better when he's playing on the road. He performs better when there's runners on base. He's a night player. He's got first pitch hitter. He's got breaking ball hitter. He's got rally monkey. He has situational hitting. To me, even if you're hesitant and you don't want to put him in the field, Yordan is an absolute necessity on your bench. All those quirks are going to add up to those numbers that you see on the screen being even better. I know there's always a lot of questions about whether or not the Player of the Month program is worth doing. To me, this month is the best one that they've had so far. There's a lot of pretty decent guys in there that could easily make your teams, whether that's on the bench as solid bench bats or a guy like Jorge Lopez with a great pitch mix and outlier who should be in everybody's bullpen. And Yordan Alvarez, that card is so juicy. It's a real shame about his speed. I think that this Yordan card is going to tear up pitching. Let me know in the comment section if you agree with what I said. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next video.